the first thing I think we need to understand is what is anxiety, because many people are feeling anxious at the moment. So people who already suffered with anxiety are feeling super anxious, and people who've never had it before are now starting to feel a little bit anxious. And I'm going to say to people, it's okay to feel anxious. You know, there is something called the fear response in the brain. That is a natural mechanism that has kept us safe. Now, that comes from the emotional part of your brain, but there's another part called the thinking brain. Now, the thinking brain will try and predict what is going to happen in the future based on a past experience. Now, the problem at the moment is we don't have a past experience of the global pandemic or of having to adopt these quite strict social distancing measures. So the brain is trying to predict, and it can't. And that's when your anxiety can start to run. It can just run wild, basically. And that anxiety, when it becomes supercharged, can become panic. So the first thing to understand is it can be a normal response to what is going on. But then the second thing to say is that, look, there are simple things that everybody can do that is going to help. So the first thing I'd say, a very, very underutilized tool is something called journaling, right? You simply write down for 5 minutes what you're thinking, what you're worried about. And it is so, so powerful. You are literally taking the anxiety out of your mind and putting it onto paper. So that's one thing that might help. I know a lot of people are worried about their kids feeling anxious at the moment. And a really good exercise for people to do, it works for adults as well, Ben, if I'm honest, but for kids, it's called the 5-finger breathing exercise. I don't know if people can see this on screen, but you basically put your hand up and you start at your little finger and you breathe in while tracing your finger up, and you breathe out while tracing your finger down. You do that the whole way around the finger. Now, why is that so powerful? It's that your brain only has a certain amount of capacity. So if you crowd it out with feeling your finger, watching your finger, and being mindful of your breath, you don't have room in your brain anymore to feel anxious. So that's another handy tip that I think a lot of people are doing, getting a lot of results. You mentioned it's a good weather today. If you are going out or if you're going into your garden, simply having, many people, Ben, at the moment will be having their cup of tea at home. I'd say nip out into the garden if it is safe to do so and have your cup of tea while looking at the trees, while hearing the birds sing, because we know that nature helps to lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol. And again, finally, Ben, I would just say move your body each day. That, although we talk about that for our physical health, it's one of the best things for our mental health. And if people are confused with what to do, keep it simple. Dancing is one of the best things you can do right now by yourself or with your family. Because, Ben, I don't know if you've ever tried this, but it's very hard to feel anxious or sad when you're dancing to an upbeat tune. So I recommend that everyone does that.
That is the top tip for the day, Rangan. Good to talk to you, as always.